just kind of off on a bit of a tangent here, but I think a good one. You're talking about that the good legislation that is in Congress that's been presented. I think we got what 300 some bills that Mitch McConnell
blocks.
Doesn't want to bring up. And I was talking to a friend yesterday. What would you ask someone running for Congress? And her question was, what would you strive to do in Congress to end some of this divisiveness that leads to things like just not even letting legislation come to a vote, or, because it does seem to be a lot of divide in Congress.
I find in my own character and in my own sort of self, my deep self, soul, I guess you could say, a difficulty with us against them approach to almost most things. That one side has to win, that binary choice makes our democratic governance and makes most of life very difficult to follow. When I was contemplating making this choice to enter into electoral politics, I reached out to a politician in La Crosse who is very active in the Republican Party. And I proposed to him, well, let's have breakfast together. And he immediately recognized that I would not be running in his party, for example. And so I thought, well, maybe that'd be a showstopper. He doesn't want to meet with somebody who's going to run in the Democratic Party. And but it wasn't. He said, let's have breakfast, because when it comes down to what's essential, we all want what's best for our community. We want a good place to live. We want a nice community. And I said, that is the crucial factor. And when we are so busy trying to counteract one another as an us against them, I win, you lose, we never get to that point. We're never solving that point. I like to say sometime that there really is no middle ground. And you would say, well, you're not ready to compromise? I say, no, I just want to get out of the us against them frame altogether. It's not an issue of compromising and making up, sort of like tolerating one side or the other. And these us against them battles are never really won. They're just moved. People say that battles in Washington, D.C. they're never won or lost. They're just moved because people never get around to doing what's essential, and that is solving those deep sort of existential issues of how do we live a full, thriving life. In my belief, our governance is there to help us all do the things together that we can't do alone. And so if we're going to do that, we need to be able to use our most important skill, our most important tool, which is communication, to be able to listen to one another and share our ideas and to come up with a common plan that allows us to do together what we can't do as individuals. And we want to create a form of engagement as a community of governance that allows all of us to thrive, that allows all of us to experience that fullness of life where we feel loved and we can love, that fullness of life where we're able to explore and to create and to feel respected and appreciated in our community. And if we can establish that, we have good governance. But we're not doing it when we're all continuously trying to sort of gain power one against another instead of solving those essential human problems in the middle.
Wonderful. I had some questions I was going to save for later about your theory of governance and government, but I think you just answered that. So may still hit on it later, but really good stuff. So let's go back to the health.